Hello everyone, I'm with Mr. Anand Raghavan, Mr. Anand as I like to call him, and I'm truly grateful to him because he is an entrepreneur and he's removed this time out for my project, which is a very minute project, but for him to give out this time to me is really, really special. And there is a reason he's part of the Sunshine Life because the minute I met him, thanks to his daughter, there was this beautiful, genuine vibe. Today in this world, we need people like him who are very clean and genuine with their heart. And I felt that instantly when I met him. So thank you so much for being this sunshine, not just to your family, to your life, but to spreading it across. Thank you so much for being part of this Sunshine Life project, Mr. Anand.
Just call me Anand.
Okay, Anand. So, Anand, if I were to ask you today, with the change in the whole scenario, the new normal that's come up, what two words come to your mind if I were to ask you?
Change and constancy.
Wow. And now I would like you to describe change and constancy together.
The world outside is right now changing a lot. A lot of people, children are now attending school from home. A lot of people are not able to work for their livelihood. There is a lot of fear outside. Everybody is afraid. Nobody wants to get coronavirus and go to the hospital. But a lot of people are now living inside their head. There is a lot of fear that's just escalating. And in the newspaper, people are only talking about coronavirus. And it's making people more and more afraid, which is very, very not only unhealthy, but it shows us as a society how foolish we have become. Because when you, as a person, you feel afraid, if you keep on talking about what you're afraid about and how afraid you are, it's called neurotic behavior. But when, as a society, when we do it, we don't notice that it's neurotic because everybody is doing it at the same time, which is what is happening right now. But you have a choice to be constant inside in your life. You don't have to be a neurotic. You can be the same as you were when you were happy, as you are when you are afraid, because it's not possible to not be afraid. People will feel a little bit afraid. Who wants to be with a ventilator in a hospital?
Right.
You feel afraid, but you don't have to. The constancy is really for how you feel inside yourself, which human beings have to learn to separate the two before you can connect properly. Before you can really connect with nature, you should separate from fear that people pour from outside onto you. And this is a great chance to do it, because when there are lots of changes and lots of problems, it is the time to practice, to actually see how you can deal with it in a way that is your own. Not everybody will say, you wear mask, don't do this, don't do that. And oh, this is very bad, government should do this, and this government is so bad, not doing this, not doing that. It's not so helpful, and everybody has to adjust to this in their own life. And you can adjust saying, "Arey yaar, this is so bad, this is not okay, that is not okay." It's your choice, or you can use it as an opportunity to be constant, because our nature is actually not to be afraid. Being afraid is a acquired quality. From when you're born, you are taught to be careful, to be afraid, to not face too much danger. But to be constant is actually natural quality. But we all have forgotten it. And because we're all so confused, we have forgotten that, it is a natural quality to be constant. But this is a great opportunity because everybody is in the same boat.
Right.
Everybody is dealing with a universal fear, and everybody is interested to find a way to deal with it in a good way. So in a normal circumstance, if you ask me what is constancy, if I give you this whole lecture, it sounds like some rubbish somebody is talking. But
Yes.
right now it's relevant for everybody.
Yes.
Everybody is interested to how to be little peaceful, yeah, when all these problems are happening. So it's very relevant,
Yes.
so it's good.
Wow. So amazing. Thank you.
Welcome.
How, how, how are you thriving? Like, how are you staying constant inside? What, practical things do you do in your life to keep that constancy?
Yeah. Okay. So good, good. So the one thing that is very helpful for me, as you have seen from my last blog about cooking, is to find good physical daily routines. It's so very important because if you don't, in the olden days, people used to have physical activity as a part of their daily life. Whether you like fitness or you don't like fitness, you have to go to the well and you have to put the bucket of water inside and you have to pull water, only then you can have a bath.
Yeah.
Physical activity was a part of everybody's life. Now it has become a choice. If you don't want to do anything, you don't want to do anything, you can just, coast through your life. If you want to do physical activity, have a routine, you have to actually inculcate it into your life. Everybody can choose whatever they want, but and now with lockdown, there are a lot of physical routines that people are forced to do because not out of choice, but out of
Yeah.
compulsion. But this is if you are able to have the anchor of some physical routines that you like, whatever it is, what it does is that it actually provides you with a very beautiful anchor on which you can live your day. And when you have some physical routines that anchor you, the tendency to find an anchor in everything that you're doing through the day grows into a habit.
Right.
And it is very helpful to do it now because sometimes, when you're at work, you think, you know what, this is a very important meeting. I have to do, it's very important, but that through eating my lunch, chalo, that's nothing. But if you are able to give the same attention to eating your food, to an important discussion which has a lot of importance, is a very urgent matter, if you're able to give the same quality of attention to both things, that's also like constancy because it's the same thing. You sometimes we think where there is more money, that
Yeah.
is more important. Where there is no money is not important. That is our foolishness. So then we say, "Arey, washing the dishes in the morning. Arey, what is this nonsense? Why are you wasting your time doing that? Do something more meaningful." What
Yeah.
does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's foolishness. So everything is important, and anchoring routine is good. And the way to not get confused is to remove material benefit that you get from the things that you do. Because we think, yes, I'm doing this work and I'm going to finish it and I'll get a lot of publicity and I'm going to get a lot of money out of it. So it's more important. So let me concentrate on this. Can you please do the dishes
Yeah.
and I don't disturb me with all that. Then what happens? Then your life becomes you become like a mouse just running after some cheese. And then you're just unidirectional. You're just doing one thing and never make you happy.
Yeah.
Because you have to be happy through everything that you do in your day. All the things that you do, including dealing with a difficult situation. Even when there are problems and you're dealing with it, maybe happy is not the right word, but even when you're having a difficult situation, you should be the same as you are when you're going through a good situation. And which means in a difficult situation, be steady and constant. In a happy situation, also don't get overexcited. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, this is so good, And that's very difficult to do
Yeah.
because when something nice happens, it's our instinct. Hey, don't be so boring. Be happy. Enjoy yourself. It's
Yeah.
all fine. But then you put all waves in your life. Then if you get more happy, you have a problem, you will get even more upset.
Right.
So this is a good way to try to do that.
Wow, I'm so impressed today. I mean, I knew some bits of you, but it's so beautiful that a person like you actually talks about washing your dishes. And I would I would even like to tell people who are watching out there that you are somebody who writes amazing blogs. And I think words are so beautifully flown by you. I get so impressed with your
Yeah.
writing because you mentioned something so basic which is so important, and I think
Yeah.
I can vouch for that because when I wash those dishes, I think mentally when I consciously do it, I actually feel that I'm cleaning my soul as well. I I
Very true.
I can like totally relate to that, but it's so amazing to hear that from you because
Yeah.
when people think of entrepreneurs or businessmen, they think that's very secondary, and you actually elevated and balanced food and business as wealth, because wealth is not just the hard cash
Correct.
or the money that we
Very
see, but wealth is actually spending that time. Amazing. What are your influences that made you this person? Like either they could be influences or people or
First of all,
whatever.
because you are a very simple person, so when you look at other people, you look at them with a lot of generosity and a lot of warmth and happiness, which is a very good quality. You should never lose it. Okay, let me,
Thank
because
you.
praising it too much, let me clarify that. Then, so actually, our Indian tradition never separated wealth from how to live your life. This is a very, very Western model where you separate. Now they talk about to show the value of women who do work, who look after their children or their aged parents, to make people understand how valuable that is. People now, there is a term, I forgot what the term is, but they attach a salary value to that.
Yeah.
And they say that look at this value. Actually, we think this is the GDP, but this is their contribution to the GDP. And I'm saying it's so stupid. You should go in the opposite direction. Stop trying to attach money value to things which are priceless. How
Yes.
can you put a value to a mother, how she's looking after her children or her parents? It has got no value. Then this foolish behavior of putting this over there, is idiotic. So you think that, oh, it's so great that somebody is a businessman but also thinks about these things, is actually not true, because this separation is totally false and totally irrelevant. But why is it there? It is there because if you make a business magazine, now in India you have separate newspaper for business, separate newspaper for normal. So what do you want to do? In the business newspaper, you'll talk only about business. You'll talk only about business issues. Times of India has a spiritual column. It will be in the speaking tree supplement only. It will
Yes.
not be in the newspaper. In the business newspaper, then never. So this is the market segmentation.
Yeah.
Oh, this is all rubbish division. But what happens as consumers? No, we don't see all this. We also start slowly. When we talk about business, we talk only about money, about stock market, about how is this company doing. But it's not. That's not business. Business is about learning to deal with failure, being supporting community. But no, we don't think that that is business. That we think is social work, NGO, not a business. Businessman is a greedy fellow who's avoiding taxes and oppressing people and making money. Whereas NGO are selfless people doing social work for people. It's all rubbish division. It's not. It could be the opposite. You can have NGOs who are doing it just for business. You can have businessmen doing it only for service. So we have to remove idea that these people should be like this, that people should be like that, because it is very difficult for you to know what is the intention of a person. I can tell you so many sweet things, but what is my intention? Unless you, and the intention you can only sense. I can tell you everything, but you can sense, he said all these things, but I don't know. I didn't feel. I didn't feel anything. So, whereas intention you can't hide.
Yes.
And when you feel intention, then what? Intention has got no separation, because your intention is not of a businessman or is only of a human being. It's a universal same intention. And in that there is no separation. Everything is together. And the big lesson, if you run a business, is that you must be able to embrace uncertainty. You never know what is going to happen tomorrow. There is no guarantee that tomorrow, next month, your salary check will come. It can disappear. It can become zero. It can become negative. But it is the same as your life. Yes. You think your life is going to be the same, but it's not so. Your life is going to keep on twisting and turning and when you run a business, it helps you to be awake, to be alert, to not have too much expectation, to be, when things are good, to have enough sense to share with other people. When things are bad, to try to do your best not to become overcome by your own fear, which is the most difficult thing. When things are good, everybody will say, yeah, I do this, CSR, I do this, that, and all. But when things are bad, it takes a great person to be able to still be constant and be steady. And that is the real test for anybody who runs a business. And that is what people should be. That is what is in some ways, the purpose of being an entrepreneur is this, that you are willing to live in surrender, because you know that whatever you do, somebody else is only going to decide what is the result. It's not in your hand. Still you live, and you still remain committed to that, and you keep doing your work. And that's the real purpose. On the side, okay, you're able to people are able to eat because you're doing something. That is all secondary. But for you as a person, see, nobody, when you are running a business, you cannot keep thinking, oh, I'm so great, I'm giving jobs to so many people. That's all not true. The only experience for you in your business is what experience you have. And the experience you have is of these things, of uncertainty, of courage. It keeps on shaping you, and of teamwork, of asking other people for help. All these things come together. So it's actually impossible to run a business and to not think about these things. It's not possible. If you think businessman only think about money and how to make profit, he'll lose all his money. You won't have anything left, because you need all these things to do it. So it teaches you everything about life. Whether you run a business, whether you work for somebody, whatever it is, whatever you do in your life is just a lesson for you. So that's, it's the same for a businessman, as a politician, as anybody. There is no profession in the world, nothing that you do which is not teaching you something all the time. I think you know that very well.
Wow, I love the fact that you actually combined everything as one, right? Today, I think we've started dividing everything, not just
Yeah,
work, but even people. Like, he is this, he's that. And I love it.
correct.
You brought that
Yeah,
oneness aspect, that
yeah,
aspect of connectedness into this so beautifully. So, before we sign off, I want to ask you, how are you like this? What has influenced you in your life that you think on such a beautiful holistic aspect rather than just to me? And that's one quality that I loved about you. When
yeah,
even my father met you, he just told me he is such a nice man. And that
yeah,
niceness, as you said, doesn't need to be spoken. It's that
yeah.
intention, that
True,
energy that
true.
the person
It's the
carries.
vibe. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So how do you
Actually,
have that vibe?
I, I I am just grateful, and a lot of Indians forget this, because in India everybody complains, "Arey, the road itna kharab hai, politician itna corrupt hai," always complaining. Oh, this is
Yeah.
not good, that is not good. But for me, actually, everything that is good in my life has come to me because I am born in this country. Because in this country, all the things that you are saying, oh, it's so nice, in this country, it is actually very, very normal. It is normal. But maybe in South Bombay, maybe in South Bombay, it's not so normal because in South Bombay, we are in New York. South Bombay is like some New York shadow. Usme everybody is living, in a different type of zone. And people are very crowded together. So when you're crowded, you then become a little agitated. But if you talk to people in this country, whatever I told you, you will realize is normal attitude of most people. Even if in Bombay you talk to taxi driver, hey, कैसा चल रहा है लॉकडाउन में कैसा अरे साहब भगवान की दया से हमको खाना मिल जाता है हम कुछ कर
Yeah.
normal but
Yeah.
only when people become a little wealthy, then what happens, this money removes it. You feel some of the uncertainty is removed from your life, which is not true, and it makes you stupid. How does it make you stupid? Because then your capacity to deal with uncertainty becomes very, very weak. And then everything, you are afraid of things all the time. You divide, you try to control things like that. But in our country is a country founded on spirituality.
Yeah.
Ours is not a material country. Yeah, we might have a lot of material wealth, but our greatest wealth, which we have to share with the whole world, which is basically belongs to everybody, is that we have long history of spiritual understanding. And when you understand and recognize that, then it is very difficult to not acknowledge to your motherland what it has given you. It is very difficult to uh, accept religious division because it is foolish, because we are all Indians, we are all having same root, and all religions are spiritual only. People think religion, a religion, more religion, but it's not true. They are all coming from the same source. As an Indian, it should not be difficult for you to recognize the uniformity, separate things, and so it's a very normal thing, and we all have to be grateful that it is so easily available to us.
Yeah.
So I know I can have conversation with you about this, and I know that everybody will understand what we are saying. Where you go to New York, you start talking like this, a lot of people will think, "Arey, ye kya bakwas kar raha hai?" But over here, whoever you talk, at whatever whatever way you talk about it, but everybody here understands, for example, destiny, takdir.
Yes.
Everybody understands. It's a very spiritual thing because it makes you accept everything that happens in your life without resistance. So that all, not only India, all across Asia, all across Middle East, the idea of takdir is very strong. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
So it's a This is, we are all, we all learn only like this. Your short life, no, how much you're going to learn? You cannot learn anything.
No.
But if you open up, to your own environment, to your own history, then here there is so much to learn that your whole life can go, but it's not enough. Or to put it in a simpler way, that it's so simple, that that just by the way you live, you can live in a way in this country that teaches you well, makes it easy for you, guides you to live your life well.
So, if I were to ask you, if there would be like one life statement or something that somebody said in your life, that may really, probably be a driving factor that drives you, anything. It could be a person,
So,
it could be something that you read.
Ramana Maharishi, he's a very great sage in India, and he has inspired millions of people all over the world. And he only said two things. One, he would say that you must always ask yourself, who am I? That means every time you are in a situation, that is this me? Who am I? And you keep doing that self inquiry. And his other message was to be silent, because because if we think that we can gain a lot of knowledge by talking and sharing, but it's not true. It's the opposite. If you want to really understand something, then you have to be fully quiet. And Ramana Maharishi's teachings are that you learn everything that you need to learn only by practicing deep silence. And whatever you need to learn at the right time will come and open up when you're silent.
Wow. Okay. So I think that's something that you practice. And I think even when you're talking, every word comes with a lot of silence. Like there is a good silence even in between your words. That's what I noticed for the first time.
Good.
Because I'm somebody who talks so much and I forget that silence. And I think I'm truly learned that bit from you today, that aspect of being silent and surrender was something that you spoke about, which is so beautiful coming from you because, today when we are doing something, we feel it's we who do it. Like I am the one who's doing it. But the minute we do it with the attitude of surrender, I think everything changes.
Very true.
Thank you
Very true.
so much for thriving and being this beautiful sunlight and showering
But,
so much light in this world. Thank you
very,
so much, Anand. Any last thoughts that
thank
you want to leave us with that we should do to be shining like a sun?
you. So I told your father when I met him that you are a very healing person. So when like the Sunshine Project, talking about these things, sharing, these are all very good things, because most of the time people talk about either irrelevant things or they talk about bad news. If you
Yeah.
see in our society, we only talk about bad things. And it is very natural for you to do, run these kind of programs and talk about these things. And I'm very happy that you do it. God bless you. Okay?
Thank you so much. Wow. So I got blessings from the sun himself. Thank you so much for being so wonderful and gracing your time, which is so precious. Today, time is the most precious tool, and you gave us that time. Thank you so much for being this
Welcome.
beautiful sunlight, spreading your
Welcome.
light. And I'm sure universe thanks you for being so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Bye, Kitty. Bye.